And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gents. This is your boy Casanova from Orlando, Florida, on this awesome and international podcast, Good Wine and Great Laughs, the podcast for wine lovers, ladies and gents, summer movies, reviews, and hot top discussions, ladies and gents. I'm your boy Casanova. Welcome to Casanova. If you are new to my YouTube channel, ladies and gents, what I do here every Saturday morning is have the wine of the day, ladies and gents. And after I'm going to give some information about the wine, I'm going to open this bottle, I'm going to taste it, and I'm going to let you know what this wine is all about. And after that, if I'm talking about summer movies reviews, we're going to jump right on that. And also, if I'm going to start again, talk about hot topic discussions, and hot topic discussions are always discussions that can touch our lives directly or indirectly, ladies and gents. So, if you love wine, if you love summer movies reviews and hot topic discussions, this YouTube channel is for you. If you like the work that I do, ladies and gents, I just ask you three simple things. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share this video with at least 5 people you know. Ladies and gents, make your comments over here, and let the people know. Invite people to come to this YouTube channel. I appreciate you. And don't forget to click on the like button on every video that you watch, ladies and gents. So, well, I took a little break, as you guys noticed, those that follow me here, because the last month, a month and a half, you're doing the World Cup, and being a Brazilian man that I am, definitely every 4 years is a curse and a blessing, You go crazy, you lose our mind. Now once our team lose, you get really, really, really mad. Now you get frustrated, and then you gotta let it out of your system and be ready for 2030 to go through this whole shit once again. I told my kids, I said, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. It's too much emotion. I said, honey, this is... Like I said, this is a curse and a blessing. You love if you can, the countdown for the World Cup to start it, and once you go through it, and if your team lose, it's just like a heartbreak. It's insane. Those, a lot of people, Americans can't understand, but everywhere in the world, people can understand what I'm talking about. All right, like I said, I took a long break, ladies and gents. I got here. Let's go back to the summer movies reviews. That's going to be the last one, because after this, I'm going to start talking about hot topic discussions. I will opening on hot topic discussions. I found these videos. This is basically 3 parts on Zitel about the FIFA and all the stuff. But this is for next Saturday. That's focused on the wine of the day for today, and then, but just let's know this is going to be the last one for the summer movie reviews. Normally, if it was not for the World Cup, I would have at least a 10 episode, but I'm finished on 4 because now we need to start talking about some hot top discussions. All right, so I have here for you, ladies and gents, it is a MALBEC from Chile. As you can see here, Santa ALBA MALBEC is a vegan wine. For those vegan people right there that love some vegan everything, this is a vegan wine, ladies and gents. You can see here is a vintage of 2024. It's from Central Valley, Chile. Central Valley is well known to make some great wines. One of my favorite wines from Chile. I told you many times, this is a brand called Papi, also from Central Valley. See right here, our MALBEC has intense ruby red color, complex and elegant nose with a delicate combination of red fruits and spices, followed by notes of vanilla and chocolate. This wine can be great companion with well-seasoned meats. So, ladies, if you're going to throw some meat in the grill, steak, whatever. I like some lamb chops that are delicious, and some ribeye steak. They should match perfectly. I did have another Santa ALBA, but was not a MALBEC, was a different one. And then I'm come again. I have a white wine from the same brand, Santa ALBA. So let's see what this MALBEC is all about. And the picture of this wine, ladies and gents, is going to be available on all my social medias. So you can go to my Instagram and all my Facebook fan base. I'll make a video for TikTok about today's episode. Also, the picture of the wine of the day is going to be there as well. So let's see what this MALBEC is all about. Love the dark ruby color. Listen, this wine is very rich in tannins. There's no sweetness at all of this wine. So for those that love sweet wine, this wine is not for you. And because it's a vegan wine, it has a little bit of a different taste than normally the Merlot that I drink. But like I say, I'm not gonna knock this wine down. Definitely, it always make a difference once whatever the pairing that you have, and you eat first. If I was eat some grilled steak right now and drink some wine, the taste, excuse me, always comes out better. But in my personal humble opinion, I'll give an 8 for this wine right here. It's not bad. Ladies and gents, like I say, if you're a sweet wine kind of person, don't even waste your money on this wine because you're definitely not gonna like it. This wine's for people that like full, semi-dry, full body wine. You know, that drink wine for a long time, such as myself. You more likely will enjoy this wine. For those that are vegan and like this type of wine that I'm talking about, you may love it. I will give an 8 for this wine here, ladies and gents. And definitely I'm going to save the half of this bottle because I'm thinking about cook some nice, delicious grilled picanha for this Sunday, tomorrow. So I will see the difference, you know. But like I say, I give her 8, let's say. So today, Saturday, August the 1st, 2026, and we're here in Orlando. Let's say it's going to be partially cloud, and in the morning with the scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, highs of 89 and lows of 77 degrees. Ladies and gents, before I start playing the first, I'm going to start with the trailer of the movie. I want to give credits to Universal Pictures, Fandango, and MOVIECLIPS YouTube channels, and as well Rotten Tomatoes. Ladies and gents, these are my 2 videos that I'm going to use for today's podcast, as well as some information about what the professional critics are talking about this movie. I agree, most of the critics, 99%, you know, but here we go. So enough talking, let's keep drinking because it is showtime.
Tell me what you remember.
A wife? A son?
And then what?
We won the war. Help me go home.
This is a household waiting for master.
I want you to choose me.
No, he's not. What would he do if he came back here and find all these suitors in his house? You're pining for a daddy you didn't even know, like some sniveling bastard. Who's looking after your wife and son?
Do you see?
My dad is coming home. Bringing vengeance.
Bringing it all.
I need everyone at this party dead.
I can still save them.
You're a man who needs to control his fate. But you cannot control this. That world is gone.
No one could stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
Keep us straight!
Odyssey!
I think it's
like Christian and Tom Hardy and Leo and Matthew and JD and Rob and Hugh Jackman and Killian. It's like a murderer's row of great actors. And all of them would have been
like,
fantastic.
I got it.
But they all passed.
no one could stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Fandango Big Ticket interview for the Odyssey. I'm here today with the cast and director. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Mr. Christopher Nolan, sir, I'm so glad to speak to you about this film. I'm going to guess if I have this right. 16 years old, you walk out of the Museum of Science, you've seen your first IMAX film, you know that you want to make a movie in this format. But then you decide that the Odyssey is the only story that not only sort of lends itself, but demands it. I'm curious when you knew the technology could meet this vision, because I think there was a lot of conversations probably with IMAX engineers before you got there.
Oh yeah, a lot of time, a lot of movies in between. And, but no, I did. I first experienced the format at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago and at the Great America Theme Park in Chicago as well. And I knew I wanted to direct films at the time. I was trying to make my own films. But I was fascinated by why wouldn't Hollywood engage with that kind of technology, that kind of immersive level of storytelling. So the first time we went to IMAX and said, can we use your cameras? It was on The Dark Knight. And we shot Heath Ledger's introduction as the Joker, the bank heist scene at the beginning on IMAX. And that was the first time anyone had ever, taken those cameras and made a dramatic film from them. The issue over the years is we used them more and more and tried to incorporate the technology more and more. But the cameras are very, very loud, as these guys will tell you, having acted in front of them. Very difficult to act in front of and very difficult to record dialogue. So we were never able to achieve, the intimate character scenes, the scenes, between the characters these guys are playing. We weren't able to get the dialogue that way. But for the Odyssey, I was determined to finally try and, get the whole film done that way. So we went to IMAX. We said, is there a way, as they were building new cameras at the time, I said, can you make them quieter? Can you encase them in a blimping system? And they invented this very, very high-tech system, this box that you put the camera into, and it makes the camera effectively silent. It's still giant. It's a big 300-pound monster that we had to move around the set and everything, but it allowed us to photograph these guys in close-up and record their dialogue and get their performance as they were doing it. That meant we could do the whole film on IMAX for the first time.
Yeah, and you have it a little slimmer than me. I had 400-pound camera, so and then 2 million feet of film that you shot for this one.
Yeah.
I'm curious, I'm sure the entire film is a testament to the format and what this vision was, but if you had to pick one sequence and one scene that you think is the one to say to folks, this is why we had to do it this way, what's the scene within this film?
Well, that's a hard one to answer because for me, we've made films like The Dark Knight, like Interstellar, over the years that have used the format for grand scale, for sort of epic storytelling. And we've done that in the Odyssey. What's new for me and will be new for audiences is some of the scenes that these guys are playing, you know, in the most intimate, the most personal ways, where we're really getting close to their characters and feeling like we're in the room with them. And there are some wonderful, very intense scenes set in Ithaca, which is Odysseus' home, that he's had to leave and where he comes back to. And I think for me, those are some of actually the most surprising and engaging sequences in the film.
Yeah, I'm thinking about every one of your scenes that he's talking about like that. I know he makes you all the expert of your character and wants you to then sort of deliver on it. What was the one where you had to trust in yourself, like, oh, I don't know if I can do this yet, but I'm going to get it done? Was there a scene that you were sort of like, or an aspect of the filmmaking? I know, Matt, I think I'm asking you, did you ever have a gut check moment of like, I don't know if I can do it, but we're gonna power through?
It's this story, it's that character in my case, and I'll tell you what really helped was that he offered me the part. If I had gone to him and said, let's do the Odyssey and I'll play Odysseus, I think I would have been a nervous wreck. But the fact that he offered me the part and I knew that he did the adaptation, he was going to direct it, that he saw it that way, definitely, you know, a lot of acting is confidence. It's just because you have to just put yourself out there without hesitation, and it's very easy to get in your own way. So that was actually very, very helpful for me, just knowing that I had that stamp of approval. Because I did read the script and go, I don't know how the hell we're gonna do this, I don't know how the hell we're gonna do that. But a lot of those were his problems and the technical problems for everybody else, and I was like, I'm just gonna show up and, you know, and I'll be ready. But I really saw it as our job is to, you know, we're in charge of this one area, right? And so in a movie that's this big, there are all these elements that are at work, of which I am one. But if I can remove everything from his plate and put it on mine that relates to that one element, so that he doesn't have to worry about that, that frees up his bandwidth to engage with all these other things. And if every department does that, then he can focus on every single detail, and it just gets richer as kind of as a piece. If it's like a giant mosaic and he's able to pour over every detail, it's going to be the best version of what it can be.
I've spoken to several people that have collaborated with you, and I think all of them say the same things, and I even do it here. We want to bring the best to anything that you're involved in. I'd even want to do it with this interview, to be completely honest. I'm imagining it's different for you, sir, because you also serve as the conduit for the audience. So like when you are asked to bring your best to this one, you're really a window into what the audience is thinking. What was your daunting moment, or was there, when you were reading the script?
I think my first day for me was probably one of the most daunting experiences of my career. Just being a part of a movie of this scale and working with yourself and with, you know, amazing co-stars. And that scene that we started with is one of the most important scenes in my character arc. And it's a very emotional scene. I was sat with John Bernthal, who's a good friend of mine. It was also his first day. So, you know, there was a lot of uncharted waters for us. And I remember it was really challenging. It was a big scene. We finished the day. You gave me a hug and a pat on the back. And when I left that day, it wasn't until I left the set that I was like, oh, I can totally do this. Like, I can swim in these waters. And it was just about getting through that first day with John and, you know, your direction and stuff with Lupita. And it was an amazing experience. And, you know, working with the IMAX camera for the first time is an experience. It is unlike anything I have ever seen before. And I didn't know that it only ran for 3 minutes. So I remember you would continue cutting. And I was with John, like, why does he keep cutting?
You're the third person I've spoken to that's mentioned this.
Why
John
does he keep doing that? And I would, like, in my head, I'm like, does he not like what we're doing? Like, what is happening? And then I remember it was actually George Cottle that was like, no, there's only 3 minutes in the mag. I was like, oh, thank God. I thought I was totally
in the middle of
in bed in this scene.
That's a very common refrain, by the way. John said that, Lupita said that. They were all kind of commenting on that. But you're incredible in that scene, and I'm so glad you put that out. I love that scene so much. But, man, Miss Anne Hathaway, you were so good in this movie. All of y'all are amazing, but you were so good in this movie.
Look who I got to work with. Come on.
I mean, I really, you were bathing in riches, sir. Like, you were kind of playing with this casting already, but like, they're all so good. But I'm curious for you, Penelope is such a layered character. She's enraged, but she has to be like the queen. How did you apply that? I mean, I'm basically saying I think that's the most daunting part of your character is how reserved she has to be. So how did you pull it off?
Well, thank you for thinking that I did. I really appreciate that. I loved that. I loved that aspect to her. I loved, when I read Chris's adaptation, I loved how rich the character was without denying the Penelope that we all kind of thought that we knew. And I remember thinking, well, what if, the thing that everybody talks about, the picture of modesty, the paragon of patience, what if she was clever enough to understand that's what was going to give her the most freedom to be, for her true self, to kind of have a much more oceanic experience of her emotions. And what if the person that really gets to see all of her is that man right there? And in a time period where, I mean, that's still rare in these days to just take up space as a person, and it's harder for some people than other. There's more space given to some people than other. And who Penelope was the time that she lived, there wasn't a ton of space given to her. There was a role that she had. And she was expected to fulfill her duty more than she was expected to be a person. And I just thought, well, wouldn't that just be the greatest tragedy if you found your person, someone that you can be your full self, your realest self in front of, and then they get taken away because of something that doesn't even feel like a noble reason, but you both know that you have to honor this responsibility that you have because you have the privilege of being a ruler, and with that, you have the fate of so many people resting on your ability to not make the selfish choice. So I just kind of focused on all of that, but I wouldn't have been able to do any of that if Chris hadn't have written it, if he hadn't guided it and created, space for that in the film.
And wrote her so well.
And written her so well. But by the way, it was true. It was true because sometimes you worry about over-rehearsing lines, you worry about becoming overly familiar with them. These were almost like, I was like, oh, we did work on Oppenheimer. These are nuclear. Like, it was just this renewable energy source to all of these lines. There was something that felt timeless and evergreen about them, and I could never find the wall with them. They just had that energy to them.
Matt, you've talked about how this was the film, like, you are glad that it came to you now in your career and after, over 100 credits. I'm curious, what was it about this time that made it the right time? What made it perfect that you were getting this opportunity with this film at this moment?
Because it was so challenging in so many ways, not only for me, for everybody, and because I'm acutely aware of how rare these opportunities are. I think there was probably a time early in my career when I would have complained about being cold or wet or any of the, or uncomfortable, basically. I felt so joyful the entire time I was there. I felt it because I was looking around at people who had the same priorities as I did, who really wanted to be there. And there was no question that everybody felt lucky to be there. We felt like we were making something because it was an atypical production. We were shooting in a format that had never been used. We were shooting it the way Chris works, which is everything's in camera, everything's practical. That's rarely done now. We were doing it the way it would have been done 80 years ago. And it felt like a special moment, like something that, these moments don't come along in your life. It's one of the great roles, if not the great role in Western literature. And I had a chance to play it. And Chris normally hires out of the pool of actors that he knows and works with. And had he stayed inside his stable of actors, I mean, the people in my cohort, it's like Christian and Tom Hardy and Leo and Matthew and JD and Rob and Hugh Jackman and Cillian. It's like a murderer's row of great actors. And all of them would have been
like,
fantastic.
I got it.
And they all passed.
What are the chances that every single one of them would pass, right? So I'm sitting here going, well, he's about to look outside. I better take this, because outside you've got Brolin and Benicio and Sean Penn. I'm screwed, so I'm just gonna jump on this thing. So anyway, I felt it came at the perfect time in my life, and it did require kind of a comprehensive, I think for all of us, it was a 24-hour-a-day job.
Yeah, so that's belying it. He's brilliant in this movie, y'all. Absolutely brilliant in it. And I'm just trying to, because we're going to be talking about it for a while, so he's good. Tom, sir, you've also spoken about how this film was a bit of an education for you. You learned a lot on set. I mean, I learned a lot just getting ready. The press notes for this are like a novel. They're amazing. What do you think is the thing that you're going to hold most going forward in your filmmaking career that you learned on this set?
I'd say it's probably from you, Matt, to be honest, and it's the art of positivity and perseverance. You know, it's the lesson that you'd hope the audience learn from Odysseus when watching the movie, that perseverance, and from Penelope also. But it was his ability to come to set every day. You know, you're the hardest working person in the room doing what you're doing, and there was always a smile on his face. He was always kind to everyone in the crew. You know, I think you really set the tone for us as the actors as how we should behave on your set. No experience will be as challenging as making this movie. So getting through it in the way that you did and moving forward and, you know, not complaining when you're cold or uncomfortable or on the side of a mountain.
I second that. I second that. Matt's an extraordinary number one on the call sheet.
Yeah.
We were all thrilled to be there. It's not like we needed a reminder to be grateful, but to realize that Matt would have come in having just run the gauntlet the day before and come in the next day so excited to be there. You didn't take a moment for granted, and you're like, oh my God, he gets to be here for 10 months. I'm only here for this part.
Yeah.
Better not waste a moment.
And when they see what they put him through, that's going to get
I remember being at the hotel like on a day where I wasn't working, and then I would see you all come back from work, and it would scare me. I'm like, I work tomorrow. Like, what the hell?
Person who's not here, but I would say that she's the conscience of this film, and that's what Zendaya is doing with Athena. I heard from you, she got the only perfect.
Oh yeah.
Look at you're like, I know where this is going.
It was the topic of discussion.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Still waiting for mine.
Can I ask what the perfect scene was, so maybe folks can look on what got you so delighted that day?
I don't even remember which one. She was always perfect.
Wow.
Always perfect.
Do you feel that? Do you feel it?
Yeah, I take a little bit of that.
I felt guilty when I first heard that they were complaining about it, and then I realized it's kind of on them, not me.
That's that humor I was telling you about. Catching strays, right?
Bars today, sir. You got bars today. This is not y'all's first collaboration. Obviously, this is your third movie with Mr. Nolan, but I'm curious for both of you, what have you seen in his evolution over this amount of time, or is it the same? Like, I'll start with you, Anne. What have you seen his changes as a filmmaker, if any?
I think I'm able to see more. I just think me being in a different stage in my life, I'm out of my 20s, I'm a mother now, I have a family. I think I'm able to appreciate more the person that Chris is. I've always been in awe of the filmmaker that he is, and he always seemed like a wonderful person. But now I understand how unusual it is to have someone who's as brilliant an engineer as he is to design the film, not just design the film itself, but then design the making of the film, what it means to have an artist's soul that can bring all that beauty and truth to it, but then on top of all of that, to just be a person who walks through this world who's trying to figure it out like everybody else. I was inspired by that when I was in my 20s, but now that I understand how rare it is, I'm even more in awe of it.
And then for you?
I am actually his age, so we were born the same year, and by the time we worked together, we were in our 40s. I mean, I think he's grown a lot since he's worked with me, but no, leaving that aside, no, it was just, I just loved working with him. We started on a glacier, on Interstellar, a glacier in Iceland, and he was, running around, and it was very much like this. Everybody was in it together. It had that expedition feeling, we're all with crampons on the side of a glacier, and Chris was there with his jacket unzipped and no hat and not complaining and just totally focused on what we were doing, and I loved it. He shoots like as if it's an independent film, so irrespective of the scale, and this was the biggest scale I've ever seen or been a part of, it's this incredible ability to understand ahead of time the story so well that he collects all the elements he's going to need, but he's not prescriptive about how he deploys them. So he knows he's going to use them, but he really lets the performances come organically. There's a lot of creative freedom for everybody who does what we do within this kind of architecture that he sets up, and so it feels captured and it feels like an independent film, and yet it's on this scale, and it is an unbelievably difficult thing to do without gripping onto it too tight and choking the real life out of it. I mean, I started as a fan of his movies. I just really genuinely enjoy them, whether I'm in them or not. Seeing how he does it up close, I understand a little more why.
I think we've all gotten to see that over the course of your career, sir. So thank you all so much. I want to remind all of you that you can buy tickets for the Odyssey on Fandango in any format, but we highly suggest you see it in IMAX 70mm. I want to thank you all, and tickets are on sale now.
Gents, we are here at Rotten Tomatoes. Can't stand the critics. All right, let's go here on Rotten Tomatoes right here. Talk about what the critics are talking about. Give me a second here right quick. Hold up. Hold on. Wait a minute. There you go. It says right here, ladies and gents, according to Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, 462 reviews, and the popcorn meter, over 10,000 verified ratings. So the tomato meter gave 94%, the popcorn meter gave 97%. Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, I believe, embarks on the perilous journey to return home after the Trojan War. Crossing the Mediterranean Sea with his fellow soldiers, they soon find themselves battling not only the elements but an array of deadly obstacles and mythical creatures along the way. Along the way. Which watch, ladies and gents, are in the movie theaters right now, and also you can buy the tickets on Fandango. All right. It say right here, the critic consensus: reinvigorating an ancient adventure with majestic sweep and sterling work by its colossal ensemble. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey imbues myth and primal human feelings. Odyssey, a cinematic epic fit for the biggest Odyssey, proves that technical precision and unrestrained grandeur, that there is no filmmaker quite like Christopher Nolan to steer Odysseus' voyage home. Critics review right here. This is the professional. It's Stephen D. Grandanos, I believe, and Max Weeds and view more. Ladies and gents, you can go to Fandango. If you're about that life, that listen to the critics, you know, you can go right ahead and watch. I'm just showing this two right here. And then we are going to the audience review. Carl L gave a 4 stars. Richard 8 gave a 5-star. He said outstanding directing with elite talent against award-winning cinematography. All right. So ladies and gents, my rate on this movie, I give a 4. I give a 4, not 3.5, 4. I give a full 4. All right, I'm not going to write a review this time. Oh, shoot. 4-star. Let's post my rating. Write a review or later. Okay. Well. I'm not writing a review, ladies and gents. Hold up for a second. Let me go back right here. Let me close this. Close. I'm not writing a review. And I'm gonna explain why I give you 4. I give 4 stars for this movie. Now, I saw this movie right on the first weekend. It came on the 17th. I think it was on the 17th. I think on 17th or the 18th. I think it was Saturday that I saw it. You know, I took my children with me. We watch them there. They love it. You know, the reason that I give a 4 is that because it's a good production. Great cast, but personally, I don't like movies that keep going keep the storyline and then go back to the past, go back to the storyline, go back to the past. I like to keep the storyline flowing from the beginning to the end. I don't like this back and forth, like personally. Other than that, the movie is good, in my personal opinion. You know, the cast is awesome. Now, one thing that I have to discuss about it is because a lot of white people got mad and complained about it because he cast Lupita as Helen of Troy. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that's really is funny to me, because all those movies, thousands of movies, that historically the character were not white, but they cast the white people. White people, I didn't see no white people try to make justice for the character. You know what I'm saying? But then when Lupita, that she did a phenomenal job on her role as Helen of Troy, but the racism, oh my God, why they cast a black woman? Forget about it. Okay, I don't care about your complaints. Christopher Nolan says, so if you complain about it, that's your problem. I'm the director. I decide to cast this actor or actress for her ability because I believe she would fulfill the role like I intend to. And that's it. Move on. It's always like that. Like when they cast the black girl to play the mermaid, it's a mystical creature. I mean, figure. So who cares? If they cast Santa Claus, oh, it gotta be white. It's a representation of different communities. So if you have a black Santa Claus, or an Asian, or a China, or an Indian, who cares? You know what I'm saying? You just waste your time on things that is not important. To me, it's not important. I don't care who plays the character. To me, as far the skin color of the actor. You know, but like I say, if you want to be correct, so let's talk about all the movies that have been played that I know for sure that the people, the original people were not white, but they have white people playing those characters. If you wanna go that route. You know what I'm saying? The bullshit. Sick of these people. Anywho, listen, so like I say, I give a 4. And the only reason I give a 4 is because, like I said, this is personal. I'm not saying the movie is bad, none of that. I just don't like any movie or any genre because I love ancient history movies, Gladiators, Pompeii, and so forth. I love those type of movies, but I just don't like this back and forth on the timeline of it. That's the only thing I don't like it. But like I say, you may love it. A lot of critics know. Like I say, I went to movie theaters. I enjoyed this experience watching with my girls, and it is what it is. I'm not saying nothing bad about this movie. Some people that, I like to probably. I never read the book, so I just go by the historic facts and the little things that I remember from school. But other than that, go forward. I definitely encourage you to go to the movie theater, and if you have the opportunity to go to the IMAX theater near you, go ahead and enjoy that time with yourself, with your family members, or whoever you go in the movies with. All right, ladies and so I'm gonna close this podcast today. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. If you like this video, just do me a favor, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, share this video with everybody that you know, and don't forget to click on the like button, and I appreciate your support. So please be safe, be kind, and be blessed, and do the best of what you can do with what you got. Salute! And I'll see you next Saturday. And next Saturday, going back to the hot topic discussions. And I definitely got to start with all that shit that's going on with FIFA, the Infantino, FIFA president, and all shenanigans that happened at the final with Spain and Argentina. That's going to be the top of the hot topic discussions. And then you got to talk about the young man Nolan that got murdered in Mississippi. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So I see you next Saturday. Holla!
Coming with the put up for the #1 spot. Pushing my rap like the push I want.